Hi, it's Michael, and welcome to week 4 of the course. I wanted to thank you guys for getting your work in on getting some data. There's maybe a few misconceptions, so occasionally I do a video like this just to go through things. If there is anything I think we can fix and clear up any issues. And also, if you'd like to meet in person, please just drop me a line. I mean, I can do that individually, or if you'd like to meet as a group. I hope you're getting used to the way we work in Mural. I think it's feeling pretty good. There's a lot of great conversations, but anything can be improved, so let me know. Right now, I asked a lot of questions. So once you got your data from whatever source you got it from, I want to make sure you understand. Now, this doesn't matter where you got it from. This is your data that you're going to organize in this course. So you can add things, change things, and I think these questions are meant to make that happen. So in case you weren't clear, feel free to change your database however you wish. And I'll give you an example just in case you're concerned. But this week, hierarchy is going to play a big role, so I'm preparing you in the week before for this week. In fact, the next 2 weeks, I'm preparing you about the thoughts that you should have and will do more of in the weeks to come. And all of these will result in changing probably things in your database. So will I go back, and maybe a question will be, will I go back to your database and really look carefully at it? Probably not, but you should know that any organization that you will have happen has to relate to things in your database. That is the trick of this job, is you can't just make stuff up. It has to come from somewhere. So these thoughts that you've had, please go ahead and add them. So if I said, hey, you don't have enough grouping or you don't have enough organizational concepts, maybe the data you have is completely useless. It's a possibility, right? Like, I don't know how to use it either. This is the fun for me in this class. I want to help you think these problems through, and it's not unusual in real life. You might get data that you just don't know how to make it valuable and put it on a screen. So if you're thinking these through, that's perfect. This week, we're actually going to kind of turn our pattern into information in the, I hope, most interesting way possible that you might not know how to do already. But just in case, I'm going to just show you, this is a database from at some point or another about films. If you wanted to add, it's actually not bad, but let's say, let me move this over a little bit. You wanted to add a new field about whatever, you just add the field, and then what does that mean? You can add as many fields as you want. You can delete as many fields as you want. But if you did add a field, which I just said, this could be, don't, by the way, if you saw my comments, we're not doing ratings until week 8 on purpose. So we're still just describing a film. Each row describes a film. So you might put release date. I think that was there, and that would be, it would be a date. So there we go. Cool. And we could just say it gives you some options. You don't have to go to such a great extent, but let's just pretend. Okay, there we go. Good. So I've said release date, and what I'm going to say is it was done 1/1/1975. Now, when it comes to something like release date, I wouldn't expect you to fill out a release date for every piece of information. We're trying to stay like we're doing this conceptually. But add 3 or 4, especially if it's text or something. Give me some examples. Give yourself some examples. I'd say 5 examples are fine. You want to think it through. And in the weeks to come, we actually are really going to think through grouping topics and taxonomy. So just giving yourself a spot and maybe an initial idea, but you do need the field. So I'm really, like, when I was talking or looking at your different databases, I think you had some great ideas, but I didn't see examples and I didn't see the field in there. So make sure to do this so that you know what you're going to pull this week is going to come from this database. And what we're going to do this week, for a quick preview, is we're going to mark up we're marking up one of your records in HTML. So we get to learn HTML, hypertext markup language. We're going to use JS Fiddle. So just like your previous exercise, you're going to want to save and share in JS Fiddle. And I believe, as usual, I have a video. By the way, I did have another video about last week that I didn't reference right away about last week's exercise. If it's helpful, go and look at it because it just talks a little bit more about what I'm showing you right now. The tags of HTML are here. They're not that many, and in fact, of this, you probably only need 10 or so, but they're the ones that you want are called semantic HTML, which means that the word itself means what it means. So you begin using words to mark up your text, and that's also going to be described. A lot of you might have heard of things like Brad Frost and the way he's trying to teach people how to think systematically, because once you get into data markups, you already have millions of records. You're going to have millions of repetitious groupings in HTML to turn your data into information. And so there's a few little tips here. There's also a thing showing that this isn't design, but it kind of is, because you can just change the design. We're not going to learn CSS in this class, so if you know about CSS or classes, you will not use any of that. This is just pure HTML tagging of your content in groups in order to show me what the structures are that will show hierarchy. I'm really interested in hierarchy and grouping. That's what we're really interested in. I have some markup here to take a look at, and otherwise it's one of those things where once again, this week might be a heavy lift. You know, you're going to need to kind of figure out, I will, all my instructions and the rubric for the next assignment will show you kind of what the format is. You're going to use your column names to mark up a representative record, and it's all in the video too. I'm not going to show you that, but it's also described in the assignment. So this week is going to be some heavy lifting, and of course we'll have next week to sort of maybe do some nuances that bring together concepts of words and grouping along with your HTML, and then this assignment will be due, which is really just to demonstrate the HTML structure. So this is the beginning of a 2-week thing. Hopefully, again, sorry for that last week that I got those weeks wrong, but you'll do this week. It'll be due next week, but the majority of the HTML work will be done this week, and then we'll refine it, get feedback for it for next week. So we want to be in really pretty confident that you understand this and are doing it and know why we're doing it this and next week. So this is a video. I like to do these just to kind of give you guys a head start or some feedback on what you're up to. Let me know if I can help. That's it. Thanks.